Yeah. Well, I mean, Rocky is one of those places that is the central Queensland hub. It's got a very good university as well, I might add. But it's a big Bibo and Dido as opposed to FIFO being fly in, fly out, Bibo being bus in, bus out, and Dido being drive in, drive out.
Yeah.
Not so much the fly in, fly out, 'cause a lot of the fly in, fly out these days is very much concentrated to WA. It's starting to creep in a little bit in Queensland, but not to any great extent. The bus in, bus out and the drive in, drive out means that Rockhampton will really become a central hub because of its good university, its good schools, its proximity to the coast being Yeppoon, and the proximity to a lot of different mines everywhere from, you know, Blackwater's only 2 hours away. Ralston's not much further. There's Springsure. There's all the way down. You know, there's the Banana and Barralabar and the Billawilla even for that matter. You know, there's a.
I think the other thing too, Dipner, is $29 from Brisbane to Rocky by Tiger Airlines if you're feeling lucky, or probably $79 on Virgin, but it depends when you go, whereas when you go to these other areas, they can charge you like a wounded bull in some other sectors to get there.
I was actually flying up to Mackay a few months back, and it was cheaper for me to fly to Rocky, hire a car, drive the 4 hours to Mackay, do what I had to do, and then drive back to Rocky and fly out of there. Because I couldn't get a car in Mackay, I couldn't get accommodation in Mackay, and it was something like $700 to fly there. I thought, my God.
Well, that's the point I'm making, and that has a big impact when you're talking investment housing. Rocky, before the mining, had 100,000+ people.
That's right.
It is a town on its own. It's a central Queensland major city.
It is.
And there's no point in me pushing it aggressively tonight because we're on our last stage and then we're out of Rocky. We've already ploughed through 240 and we've got 60 to go.
Well, we better get in on those 60. Tell us what you have got. Yeah, Gracemere, for those of you who don't know Central Queensland very well, is on the southern, slightly western side of Rockhampton. It's kind of a suburb, if you like, of Rockhampton, even though it doesn't think it is. You know, so it's supported very much by the town itself. So talk to me about what you've got going there in Gracemere.
Well, Gracemere, as you say, was one of those satellites on the way out to the mines. That would be the last pub they'd call into to get their beer before they continued on their journey.
You're not painting
now,
a very good picture here of the Central Queensland people.
Well, no, but that was then and this is now, though. And today, McConaughey's are finishing the major woolies on the south side. You'd be amazed at the growth out there. Mm-hmm. It has just become pretty well a sub-city of Rocky now.
It is. It really
and
is.
It has just been going nuts yet. And here's the fun bit. When we took it on 2 years ago, we were selling land for $105,000. It's now running at about $145,000. But without marketers, we're quietly selling to people at $125,000 here and there under our packaging.
So there's 20 grand there.
When you look at that, that's very little growth compared to Gladstone that's jumped from $105,000 to $250,000.
Yeah. But this will consolidate, it'll go further, and, you know, for those of you who don't know the area and have heard all of the news reports, you know, Gracemere's not a flood area.
Nope, flood-free.
Flood-free.
Yep.
So, you know, you've got at least 20 grand above everybody else there, plus the construction saving as well. And have you still got any duplex sites here?
If you look at the next slide, you'll see that we've got a duplex that we've created there as well.
Uh-huh.
On
Two-story or one-story?
That's a corner. No, that's a low set. But this time around, we took a corner lot, which allowed us to make a wider home because it gave us 14 metres on one frontage, I think, and about 12 or 14 on the other. So it just gave us something a little bit different to play with there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like corner blocks.
And they came in at 2995 and 3095.
Okay.
So that guarantees, you know, our listeners that both of them, after their $10,000 rebate, drops them under the 300 mark. And again, our cheapest product in Gracemere is around about $430 for marketer homes. Mm. But you can still, you know, go up to a local builder and do things. But please remember, it does cost you about $1,350 a metre to build in places like Rocky, Gracemere, Billawheeler.
Mm. Yeah, because cost of labour is just that much more. So there's a bit of a site plan and floor plan of what they might look like, which is hard to see unless you're used to reading these kind of maps. The plans are a little bit hard to read there, but still, very nice little homes.
And again, this comes from our debate we had with you on stage that we could do this, and these came out at the same time as the Billa ones, which was about 6 weeks ago. So these have not gone to the marketers yet. If they go to the marketers, they'll be valued accordingly, and then they'll be sold based on valuation. And we think valuation will come in at least $50,000 more than the prices I've just mentioned to you.
Yeah. So you're not only picking up on the capital from a development perspective, because you're actually building these things, you're picking up on the yield on them as well, because what do these rent at?
Oh, again, you'd be renting those easily at that 350 mark. It's and 400 mark, but you've got to be a bit more careful in Rocky compared to Billa. Billa are more aggressive because there's so few properties available, whereas Gracemere's got reasonable standing of quality of homes coming through. So sitting comfortably at around 350, 400 would be my opinion there.
Okay.
You may hear higher figures, but you've got to get it consistently. And when I'm talking rental, I'm talking permanent rental.